Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, it's Greg here again with another update on the Churchill for the Armistice group build hosted by Military Modeller Paul. Before we get into things, I would like to wish everybody a Merry and Happy Christmas, and hopefully a better New Year than this year. I think we all need one. And I'd just like to thank all my subscribers for sticking with me, and I know I haven't been doing a couple of updates recently. I've just slightly been a bit ill again, a few days here and there, and coming up to Christmas, not so much time at the bench, obviously with other things to do, getting ready for Christmas and one thing and another. But it's here now, so it's a small update. This will be sort of a review of where I'm at on it, and I should get it finished early New Year, depending on how much time I get to the bench. So once again, sir, thank you very much to all my subscribers, and I wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas and certainly a Happy New Year and a prosperous one. So thank you once again. So I did decide to make a diorama. I can't remember if I showed you the base of it when I did the last up. I don't think I did. So what I've got so far is I've changed it slightly from when you seen the bit of wood and the tree I made out of wire. I've changed my mind, and what I've done now is I've done this. The board is still underneath here, and I've just put thickish balsa wood around the edges and sculpted the mould. It's a very different colour, and this is the soil, your own soil, tile grout, and some very, very small fine sifted sand, so we get the small pebbles and that in there as well. And obviously we've got track marks underneath these here, which I deliberately did when it was I think so they're underneath all there. You can quite see, can we? I'll do that. That's what I do now. Is put the track marks just underneath there, so the tackle. What I'll do is I'll just put some mud along there and squish the tank into it. So I started making some pine trees. They're not finished yet, obviously you can see they're not finished yet. This is just balsa wood and florist wire. And that's all it is. And this is basically where I'm at now. They've all got to be, you know, sprayed and finished, and more bark technique into it, still a bit shiny, but all the leaves. I tried to get out some asparagus fern, but I couldn't get any, so I'm going to have to do the other similar way with all the what's it called, just all the greeny stuff, and maybe a bit of static grass as well in there, just to represent some fern trees. So I made 3 of those, and one of them is going to, before we go any further with the trees, these are the rock molds. Mr. Gav from Gavin Booth, from Gavin's his channel, you know, the figure painter, and he's building nice tanks at the moment. He's doing a King Tiger at the moment. He's got a few builds I think coming towards the end, so pop across and see how he's getting on. But he sent me a lot of stone moulds. He bought the, I think it's Woodland Scenics rock moulds. He made me a few. This is my first sort of time of trying to get a stone effect, and what I did was I painted it light grey, and I've got some inks. I did black ink and a sepia ink, and I just really follow what people do on the internet, and I put a bit of greenery. If greenery picks up, let me just get a pointy stick. I've done a little bit of green and see where like moss would grow. This isn't finished. I'm going to put some maybe some flock inside of this, maybe just little bits in there. On the top of here is the orchid soil and crushed leaves, just to sort of form a forest texture with scattering along the bottom. I have some other bits to add to it yet when the trees are done. So what I'm going to do with the trees, obviously I have 2 of them stand up, and one sort of just has fallen right in front of the Churchill, so that's what it's going to be simple. There's only going to be a Churchill and a couple of figures inside the in the tank, and that's basically it. I may put some in here, Munchu here. I may put like a fence along this part here, and this is going to have like bits of static grass dotted around everywhere. And this probably from about the width of there is I'll make a little fence with matchsticks and jeweller's wire or something like that, and then this will have sort of a bit of a field here. Rough field in this corner. Let me see where, so we can't really see where I'm at, can we? Sorry, talking away to myself, you can't see. Yeah, sort of across here is I'll put a fence, and this will be grassed, obviously, like it is a field. and this will have, you know, static grass all dotted all the way around it, different colours, different lengths, that kind of thing. So that's basically the diorama. That's what I'm going to do with that. So I'll just pop this on the floor for now. Then we'll bring in the Churchill. I've just done a bit of dry fitting of things at the moment. So what we have here, so I'll take it off to start with so we can see where we are. This is not on yet, obviously, and the tracks aren't glued on yet. I've just been looking at a few pictures that's on the internet, and I've seen a lot of Churchills with the tracks on the front like that, and like just on top of the fairings, the mudguards. Obviously the mudguards are off on this one, and all I've done on here at the moment is a pin wash. So all I've done at the moment, and no, sorry, I didn't. Let's go back to where we were. After the paint had dried, I give it a coat of satin varnish, and then I used put them here. Where we at? I used the raw umber wash, filter, which was all made one, and a bit of faded green. These washes, so you know, they're all shaken up. Faded green and olive green as well. So what I did with those three things, instead of traditionally doing like a normal filter would work, you just put it on in thin layers and that, I actually tried to dry brush it on, and it seems to come up with a nice effect. Let's see if I can zoom in and we'll see. I'll get on the top. You can just see there's different, slightly coloured, different variations in the green to start with. But that's just sort of almost dry brushing the filters. It sounds a strange thing to do, but I thought, well, give it a go and see what kind of effect I've got. And it has worked to a certain degree. I need to really sort it out a bit more, but think more about better coverage and things like that. But yeah, it's got the colour variations in there. Obviously the decals. My mate Paul sent me the other side for the decal, and I've got disintegrated, so I've got both sides now with the number on there. I've added the hatches on the driver and the presumed it's the loader's hatch. I've attached the photo etch exhaust cover on there. I've added a chain just on the back, and this has got obviously I've got all the it should go this way. I'll just move these little bits out of the way and bring this back slightly so we can see. Yeah, I've got all the tow cable to go on there yet, and some spare tracks which are here. They've got to be put on here on position where they go on there. So I can't see from my fat finger, but let's have a look. I've got to go on there obviously at some point. I might put them on shortly. And then I've got the stowage to go on, which I showed you. I don't know if I showed you the stowage, all of it. I've finished it all now. So we have finished the 2 crates. They're about ready to go on there. We've got 2 crates. We have 2 rolled up tarps. These came with the kit. They came with the kit. We have a couple of others from the spares box. That one, and that one. We have, where we are? Got those 3 as well. And I'm going to go back to the tank. I'll show you what else I did. I forgot to show you. When we go back to the tank, that's just out the way. And we've got a couple of satchels. 1, 2. And a sack of some description. So we've got to go on as well. I'll put this onto there. We've got those. And a bucket, which I did show you. That's finished now. Just needs something in there. A bit of liquid inside there, maybe, or just a dry cloth. I'll show you here. And then in here we have the tools, which I've got done. So we've got 1 shovel, 2 shovel, like a tanker's bar I think, or whatever it's called, 2, 3, 4, 5, 'Is that it? Oh, we've got the and plus the 2 fire extinguishers for the turret as well. To go on and see if that's it. I think that's it as far as the storage is concerned. And the tools, we've got the tools there. That's all the tools there got to be added to it as well. I'll just pop those back in there. I'll damage them and lose them, no my luck. I'll just pop these back. Yeah, on the tank, I think Paul's did something very similar to what I've done with the periscopes. Let me put these back and I'll explain how I've done it. Handy little pots these. I got these from Amazon. I think they're about maybe £6 for about 50, if that. Can't remember how much they were. They weren't expensive. Yeah, so that's spare track and things in the other one as well. Really handy little things to have. Yeah, so as far as the periscopes on the front, I don't know if you can make them out there. I can there. Got that on there and the ones on there, and I've also done the cupola ones as well, which is a slightly different colour. So all that is in there is nail foil. This is a different colour, but this is what it is. Got nail foil, which is very, very thin. There's all sorts of different colours, and you got the shimmering. In fact, if I remember to show you the one that I actually used, would be better, wouldn't it? It's just a hand me out. Oh, well, it was to hand, as I said. Yeah, it is. What I did use was this one. That's the one I used. See, with all the bright on there, with that. It's like a different coloured blues, and you know, just. So I used those, and then once I had them in positioned and dried, and they were in, I may as well put that back in here as well. Yeah, these are like a couple of quid off. There's all sorts of different colours. Give it my daughter. Most of them I just kept the ones that I wanted to keep for the periscopes, and then I finished with glue and glaze just over the top. I'm going to put another coat on there as well. So a couple of those just coats on that to go along the top of it. Sorry, go along into it, so it makes a bit of a shine. Let me just take these tracks off so I don't lose them. I'll pop those in there so they're out the way, so we have no loose stuff. So yeah, maybe show you better. Right, pick it up. Just needs another bit of in there. I think this is a bit of a tidy up as well, but yeah, they're okay. Got machine guns to do. They need to be finished. They're just painted grey at the moment, like a light grey. Obviously, this has to be weathered to the same as the diorama. And we have 2 figures just from the kit. 2 simple figures. Yeah, so they're okay. Yeah, I'm getting there slowly. Slowly. Let me see if we can. A bit shiny yet, but I've got the goggles on there as well. So he's maybe in the. He's not quite finished, but this needs a bit of a dull coat. I think he's a bit shiny. But, yeah, so that's him. That's the commander. Same with the goggles again. I did the same sort of thing. I painted, but I didn't use the glue and glaze. I just used the clear blue on the Tamiya clear blue. But first I used the smoke just to get the colour of the glasses, and then into the centre I did the clear blue inside there as well. So they're alright. You know, no masterpiece, far from it. But they're improving bit by bit, and we have presumably which is the loader. So you've got that shine on, but they'll be alright. Let's get his side arm on there as well. So he'll be sitting on side the loader's hatch. So they're not brilliant, but they're okay. They're okay from a distance. They look alright. So that's the figures done. So they just need to be glossed, matte coated, and just a few little bits of detail done on them. And then we have this to add, the netting around the outside. It's trimmed up and cut to size and put on. And so this needs to be trimmed to size as well, the turret. So the gun. Yeah, so we have that on there. So it's moving along. So my next step now is basically to do a little bit of oil work on the, let's just zoom out now a little bit. Out. Yeah, so I just need to do a bit of oil work now, starting off with the dry brushing it in again, just in the centre, and dry brushing it out, get the colour variations back. A little bit dull, but it is okay. And then after that we'll start the actual weathering of the, like putting the bits of stuff that I've got on the diorama onto the tracks. And if you look carefully, I'll just take this off again and pop it out of the way before we lose it or break it. If you look onto the sides, if the camera will pick it up, let me just, there we go. You can see there's a slight different variation in green that's at the bottom, which is more of a darker filter, which I did that deliberately just to sort of start off where the dust and muck's going to go. Just about, you can quite see, the camera might not pick it up, just around this area here. About that height on both sides. And with the wheels again, I used a wash in there as well, and the springs at the back I use a pencil. I got in there and done the pencil to give a bit of a shine. Obviously some of it you're going to lose with the weathering, and the same with the wheels as well. They've got a slight silver tinge on the obviously inside of them because of this metal on metal. Yeah, so that's done both sides obviously. And the PE set for this, I must admit, it was, for what it wasn't overly expensive, and it does make a bit of a difference on the old Tamiya kit. It really does. You don't get these on the Tamiya kit. Yeah, for the periscopes, the covers, you don't get that. You don't get the, I think there's a fire and like range finder type things on top of there. Obviously the aerials you don't get. You get the centre one with the round thing at the top, more like a blob, so I used the PE part for that. PE parts for the fire extinguishers to go on as well, and on there on the sides of the turret. And I explained last time what Paul did, and he showed me how what he did. I made that part as well. That's scratch built apart from the centre, and the handles obviously just the like things for the engine cover, I presume, or something like that. Anything else? Anything else? Oh yeah, I've got to put the wing nuts on each of the tops of these, which I've added now. And I used, because they don't supply in the PE set, they don't supply the styrene rod. So what I did is I just stretch sprue and put it in there. I've got the little wing nuts to go on top of each of these, yeah. And I've got the tools, which is the clamps are there, ready to be put on. And the wing nuts to go on top of those, and this pickaxe head needs painting yet. I wish I was going to take it off, but I've totally forgot all about it. But I'll be careful and paint that. That's what these holes are for here for the originally what the shovels and that fastened into, but they'll be disguised with the shovel heads so that you won't see them anyhow. And the 3 holes here, that's for the big bar to go on. I think that's about it really. I think we're it's going to be probably finishing the new year, because obviously you won't get much time after today. We've been Christmas tomorrow and Christmas Eve tonight, so it'll be like a family night again, watching the TV and whatever we've got to watch. Yeah, so I think that's really about it. So I did a lot of work underneath just to get the colours that I wanted on there, so I just tested it first underneath there. So that's why I always test things just underneath, just to be on the safe side, let it dry and see if I'm happy with it. So this needs to be put on permanently, yeah. It's still a bit loose. Yeah, so that's it. So that's where I'm at. And I say I haven't, this time last year I wasn't in the best of health, but this year it's my first Christmas in 2 years that I'm going to actually enjoy. First Christmas 2 years ago was poorly, which we didn't realise was the start of a cancer. And last year obviously I had the throat cancer and couldn't eat, and just lying in bed most of the time, just unwell. But this year I'm going to enjoy my Christmas Day dinner, which I'm looking forward to. So I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, and you get what you want, or you don't get what you want, whichever. I'd like to say thank you all my subscribers, new and old, and I wish you all a very, very happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year. So we shall see you at the beginning of January, if I'm allowed to come in there between Christmas Day and the end of January. I'll may post another update depending on what I get done. So there we go. So this is Greg signing off. We'll see you very, very soon. And say once again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.